Are you terrified to stop your weight loss shot because you know the weight's gonna come back? Well, here's the problem. Your body is packed with waste it never digested, and the second your hunger returns, you're gonna pile more on top, okay? I spent 6 years studying how the body stores and releases fat at a cellular level, and I can tell you exactly what's happening inside your body right now. And if you do these three things before you stop the shot, you can keep the weight off. So let me show you exactly what's going on and what to do about it. So here's what's actually happening inside your body right now while you're on the shot. Your appetite's gone, you're barely eating, you're losing weight, but your digestive system, it's slow. And that's literally what the shot does. It slows everything down. And all that food you ate before you started the shot, the stuff that made you gain weight in the first place, most of it is still in you, sitting in your colon, undigested. So when you stop the shot and your hunger comes roaring back, you're gonna start eating again, but your body's still full of this old waste, and now you're just gonna be packing new food on top of that old waste. And this is why people gain it all back in 4 to 6 weeks, all right? But if you do these three things before you stop the shot, you can actually get off the shot and keep the weight off. So let me show you how. Before you even think about lowering your dose, you have to start moving that old waste out, okay? And the way you do that is with high water content foods, all right? Things like sweet fruits, your oranges, pears, plums, cherries, berries, melons, okay? And then your non-sweet fruits, cucumbers, celery, bell peppers, carrots, even lettuce, foods that are literally full of water. Because here's the thing, you and I, we are water-based beings, okay? Your body's 70% water, but you've been eating foods that have zero water content in them, right? Bread, crackers, meat, cheese, pasta, processed snacks. None of that stuff exists in nature, okay? You can't show me where bread grows or where the pasta tree is, right? Because those foods are manufactured. They're dead and they're dry and they're dense. And your body, which is electric and alive and water-based, has no idea what to do with those. So they just sit in your system like a brick, and they back you up and they compact in your colon, okay? And that shows up as weight you can't lose, and the belly fat and the bloating. The shot did not fix this, okay? It just made you stop eating, so you stop adding to that backup. But now you need to flush it out. So these high water-rich foods contain structured water called H3O2 that hydrates you on a cellular level way more effectively than plain water. And the structured water and the activated living digestive enzymes and fiber in these foods are going to come into your digestive tract where all this undigested waste is sitting, lubricate that stagnancy, and break it all down so it can eliminate. Think of it like this. If you're trying to flush a clogged drain, you don't just pour more cement down there, you flush it out with water. Same thing with your body, but structured water. So you want to start adding these foods with this structured water in now while you're still on the shot. So if I look this way, by the way, I'm just seeing if my mic is dying. It's running low. But write this down. Have big meals of juicy fruit for breakfast, okay? So a whole bag of grapes or 7 to 8 tangerines or 7 to 8 pears, okay? And when you have this big juicy fruit meal, don't mix it with anything. Don't mix it with nuts. Don't mix it with seeds. Just juicy, sweet fruit, okay? And this is going to cleanse you. These are your internal soap bars, all right? And then you want to start creating big, fresh, delicious, creamy salads for lunch or your dinner. These are going to open up your elimination pathways so that when you stop the shot, the waste leaves your body instead of just sitting there making you gain weight again, all right? And if you want to learn how to make super delicious, satisfying salads with sauces and dressings that make adding in these fresher, water-rich foods easier, You can grab my free light body activation guide below. It's got all the meal ideas and quick sauces that'll help you flush this waste out without feeling like you're on some weird cleanse, all right? So now that you're opening up your exits with these foods, here's what's gonna help you keep the weight off for good and speed up this whole cleansing process. You need to start eating in sync with your body's natural rhythm. And that means making lunch in the middle of the day your biggest, densest meal of the day. All right, and here's why this matters. Your digestive fire is strongest between 12 and 2 p.m. All right, that's when your metabolism is running hot. That's when your body can actually break down and process denser foods. So if you're gonna eat, dense grounding foods, the stuff that makes you feel full and satisfied, and I'll get to what I recommend in a sec, you wanna eat these at lunch, okay? So write that down. Eat your densest meal in the middle of the day between 12 and 2 p.m., not at dinner, not at 7 p.m. when your digestion is winding down and your body's trying to repair and detox for the night. Because when you eat your biggest meal at night, your body has to work overtime to digest while it's supposed to be resting, okay? And that slows down your lymphatic system and it backs up your elimination and it keeps that waste sitting in your body longer. But when you eat your main meal at lunch, your body has all afternoon to process it. And when you just have a light dinner 2 to 3 hours before bed, by the time you do go to bed, your system is clear and your body can actually focus on detoxing all night and burning fat while you sleep. So this one shift alone is going to regulate your metabolism and help you flush out that undigested waste way faster, okay? Now, here's the part a lot of people miss. If you're coming off of animal products and pasta and processed foods, or if you're coming from those, if you just eat fruits and salads, your body's not used to this level of density and cleansing. So you need to ground yourself with foods that make your body feel safe and satisfied without adding to the clogged waste in your digestive tract. Because these foods I'm about to share with you are easier than any other cooked food for your body to break down, all right? So write these down. Steamed sweet potatoes, steamed squash, yams, taro, beets. These are your roots, okay? You want to prioritize your roots as your main source of density. They have natural water content in them and they're going to keep you feeling full and grounded. All right, next is quinoa. This is a good source of protein. Same with hemp seeds. These are a good source of protein as well. I like to throw these in my fruit bowls or my banana smoothies for dinner. But quinoa, good source of nourishment. It's water rich and it's way easier for your body to break down compared to beans or rice or bread or pasta. Okay, this is an ancient grain. And then if you want some lentils, so you have some options, have some lentils, but quinoa and roots, I do recommend more because they're a little easier for your body to break down, all right? So these are all foods you could pull out of the ground and recognize they're close to nature, AKA you. They're full of minerals. And when you steam these, they're easy to digest, right? There's no fatty processed oils necessary. And remember to eat these at lunch, your biggest meal, when your digestion is strongest, all right? Because you're trying to keep those exit pathways open. You're trying to keep things moving through your body so the weight stays off, all right? And these clean whole foods do exactly that, all right? And a bonus tip for you on this step, write this down. Pair these cooked foods or anytime you have foods that aren't water rich, even if you're eating foods that you know aren't good for you, pizza, takeout, whatever, eat some fresh non-sweet fruits on the side of them. Notice how I said non-sweet. You want to just have sweet fruit on its own on an empty stomach, all right? But non-sweet fruits like cucumber slices, bell pepper slices, carrots, celery, even lettuce, these are going to provide your body with the living, digestive, activated enzymes that the cooked food doesn't have, along with the structured water content that the cooked food doesn't have to help your body break down the cooked foods and eliminate them. because your body needs that help if you have belly fat. Okay, your digestive system is weak. But the life force energy in these non-sweet fruits, the enzymes, the H3O2, the fiber, are going to help your body break the cooked food down so it can be eliminated through your bowels and pooped out and not get clogged in your system with all this other waste. All right? Remember, if you're eating 2 to 3 times a day and you're only pooping once a day or less, your system is clogged. So pair the water-rich foods, those non-sweet fruits, with anything that is dehydrating or dry, okay? So, quick recap. The shot didn't fix the problem, okay? It just made you stop eating, so you stopped adding to that backup. But the problem is still there. Your body's full of waste from eating foods it can't properly digest. And until you flush that stuff out, and until you eat in rhythm with your body's natural cycle and stop clogging your system with lots of oils and heavy, dense foods, you're always going to struggle with your weight. But when you start eating these high water-rich electric foods and make lunch your biggest meal and keep your fats clean, like avocados, coconut meat, raw nuts and seeds, and you keep these below 15% of your daily calories, and all your other calories is lots of juicy fruit and non-sweet fruits and leafy greens and a little bit of those steamed roots or quinoa, the fat that was created in the first place releases. You just have to stay consistent with all of this I just told you. The body will adapt. When you come back home to consuming foods that are a reflection of who you are, living, electric, and water-based, your digestion works again. Your lymphatic system starts flowing. Your face fills back out. Your energy comes back. And the weight stays off without you having to force it. And not because you're restricting yourself, but because you're finally working with your body's biology instead of against it. Okay? So if you're ready to get off this shot without gaining everything back, start now. Open the exits with high water foods. Eat your biggest meal at lunch and keep your fats low and clean and ground yourself with whole roots and quinoa and maybe some lentils, all right? Your body is not broken. It just needs the right fuel at the right time, all right? So grab that free guide below. It's got everything you need to make all of this easy. And I'll see you in the next one. Happy healing, family. Cheers.